Now back to high school sports talk on ESPN Radio 94.1, presented by VirginiaPreps.com. Here's Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
Welcome back to High School Sports Talk here on ESPN Radio 94.1, presented by VirginiaPreps.com and Larry King Law. With the Coach Ed Young, I'm Matt Hatfield, and Ed, we have a special guest on the line. He is a former college football assistant coach at Penn State University, Old Dominion. Oh, you might remember those Surry Air Cougar days, state champions, and now the head football coach of the Kings Fork Bulldogs in Suffolk, where today they have a mattress fundraiser going on at Kings Fork High School, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And here to tell us all about it is Coach Kermit Buggs. Coach, thank you for coming on the program. How's your summer going?
Everything's going well, Matt. How are you doing?
Not too bad. And I'm going to get you hooked up today here, Coach. Ed Young tells me he is in the market for a mattress, so there you go.
Yes, sir. We got them all. We got them all, ranges from twins to all the way up to kings and all kinds. We got the Sealy's. We got the everything you want. We got mattress firms. We got it all. So if you come on in and check it out, there's cash or credit, and we also have financing available, and they will free deliver. So we got it all out here for you today at Kings Fork. It's a busy day out here, so come on out here, watch some basketball, and then also look for a mattress.
There you go, Ed. Free delivery. That's news to your ears. Free.
Anytime it's free or clearance. Those are my name brands.
That's right, Coach Young. Yes, sir.
Coach, I got to tell you, congrats on the job over there at Kings Fork. Coming back to the high school level. For those who don't know, you did set the world on fire and with the Surry Cougars. And then, of course, you took the jaunt to the college level. But for our listeners that are not that familiar with you, let's do this if you would. Let's go all the way back to your playing days, high school, right on through. Go through your early coaching. Take us all the way through it, right up to the Kings Fork appointment.
Well, I was a quarterback at Kickintan High School for Kurt Newsom back in the days. I graduated from Kickintan in 1990. Went on to play at Norfolk State. You know, when Clint, he had Coach Wright on earlier when he was a senior at Norfolk. I was just coming in. I was a baby boy. I was a freshman. So I got a chance to play there and played all the way through my 4 years at Norfolk State, and then left and went on to Surry County and was an assistant coach for a guy named Willie Gillis when we went to state championships with him, and Willie won it in 98 and left and became the offensive coordinator at Virginia Union, and then that following year I became the head coach at 27 years old and went 14-0 and won the state championship the following year and stayed in Surry a couple more years and then went to be a graduate assistant for Coach Joe Paterno at Penn State and stayed at Penn State for 3 years, and then I was leaving, actually coming back here to become the head coach at Lakeland High School for Mr. Hawkeye Whitley, who's now the principal of Western Branch. But Coach Paterno called me in his office and was like, I got something for you to do, and I became the second player personnel director in all of college football. So then I did that for a year and a half, and then I was getting out my shower one day at 8 o'clock in the morning, and Coach Norwood had left to go to Baylor to be their defensive coordinator, and I became the safeties coach at Penn State. So after that, the history has gone from there, and done some good things and had the opportunity to come back here to Old Dominion and work for Bobby. Enjoyed my time there, and now I'm here at Kings Fork hoping to take these guys to heights unknown.
Coach, obviously, if those don't remember, you were a very, very good player at Kickintan. I came back in here, I think it was in 84, and I do remember you were a hard guy to tackle, and you can pitch that thing a good distance. So I'm not surprised at the success that you've had on the coaching thing. I'm obviously intrigued, being a Pennsylvania guy. Penn State football is religion up there.
Yes.
Joe Paterno had been for many years the unknown governor of Pennsylvania. He was more well-known than any person in Pennsylvania, and the stories. Unfortunately, a bad ending with the Sandusky stuff and all that craziness. But I want to ask you to focus on what was it like to be under a true legend in the coaching business, very successful, seemed to be a down-to-earth guy. What was it like those years at Penn State?
Well, working for Coach was the greatest time of my life. He was like a second father to me. One, because I've been around him for so long. My dad had worked Penn State camps for 33 years, so it wasn't like I wasn't a part of the family when I got there. My dad had already laid that foundation for me as we got there, as he was one of Coach Paterno's, right-hand guys down here in the South that he used to bring up, to work camps for him and help him recruit down here back in the day. So when I got there, I was really already a part of the family. The other part about it is my family, my grandmother lived in Brooklyn on Hancock Street. So, Coach being from Brooklyn, so that automatically put me in with him, being a Brooklynite. So, but it was great. He taught me a lot about dealing with people first and foremost, and the understanding of dealing with young men. He was one of the most adaptable people in the world at understanding what young men wanted and what they needed out of their lives. He would bring guys in all the time and bring people over to his house with his wife Sue, and they would make things work for the betterment of the whole child. It wasn't all about just Penn State football; it was about the betterment of him, of the person. So those things are lasting memories that last with me and stay with me all the time. People always say in the end was Coach involved? Yeah, Coach was highly involved till the end. He would come in the morning. He would meet with us. He would go back home to his office at home, and your phone would ring about 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and he would say, I don't like this, I don't like that, I like this, put this in, take this out, we're going to move this out of practice. So he was still highly involved all the way to the end, unfortunately, like you said, with Coach Sandusky, those things happen, and then we didn't get a chance to finish it out on the right way. But, I always cherish my years there. I was luckily enough to get my master's degree from Penn State, so I'm a Penn State alumnus, so I'm really proud of that.
Well, like I said, you're with a true legend, and as a young coach and learning from all coaches of all sports, one of the things I got from Paterno that people had said he was very, very good at, and maybe one of the best ever, was not just recruiting the kid, but he was great at recruiting the family, the parents, and he had a knack of knowing things about that family that people were like just gravitated towards, and that's not easy in this business at any level.
Not at all. We would do a thing where he would have a dinner set up for the parents at the house and a social at night after especially on official visit weekends where the kids got to go out and hang with the fellas. But he and Sue would open their house up to him and bring them in, and he would have carolers come over, and he would sing with them. With the carolers, it would be the Penn State carolers from the university. He would get up there and sing Christmas carols. He would get up there and sing the fight song. He would do it all.
Chatting with Kermit Bugs. We're chatting with Kermit Bugs, the new head football coach of the Kings Fork Bulldogs, our guest here on ESPN Radio 94.1. It's high school sports talk presented by VirginiaPreps.com. And Kings Fork has its mattress fundraiser today over at Kings Fork High School. Go on out. All the purchases benefit the football team. Get yourself a mattress. And, Coach, let's talk about some of these Bulldogs that are going to be watching. We'll be watching this year on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. We've had you on when you got hired back in the spring, and you used that motto of fun, fast, and ferocious, if you will. Tell us about some of these names we should watch for offensively, then defensively as well.
It's some of the same people who were here last year. Leo Weddington is going to be the number 1 tailback. Kahari Rogers will be the number 1 wideout. We're still searching for who's going to be the lead at quarterback. On the defensive side of the ball, we'll probably be led by, Garrett Williams, who will be back after last year. And I don't know if you just saw it on Twitter, but Garrett has just committed to Temple today.
Oh, did he? Wow.
So we're excited about that. And defensive line-wise, we're going to have some young kids who were on the JV last year that are going to be big players. Kyrie Mostert and a kid named Tavius Higgs. They're going to be good defensive ends for us. And we got some young corners, but they're going to come around and be some good players. We got another kid named Rusty Knight, who's a veteran who transferred into Kings Fork, but he's going to be a good player for us also. So we're looking forward, and we're excited about what we're doing here. Again, it's going to be fun, fast, and ferocious. That's what we're going to do. We're going to play fast, and we're going to play physical.
Well, your background certainly speaks for itself with the success you've had going back to that championship days at Surry in 1999. And, Coach, Weddington's a well-known name. We know about Deshaun Weddington, what he went on and did. What would you say is going to be the strength of this team offensively and defensively? You're going to be a balanced attack, be more run-heavy, pass-heavy, and then defensively, where should we see you guys have the most success in your eyes?
Well, Matt, nobody has seen anything from us yet, so I can't give you too many secrets. But, we're going to be in the spread system. We're going to give what the defense, we're just going to take what the defense gives us, whether it's run or pass. So we're going to do whatever it takes for us to be successful, move the ball and move the chains. Defensively, we'll be in our same 4-2-5 that was at Old Dominion and at Penn State. So that'll be similar to you guys when you watch it. It'll be our same defensive schemes from both of those places. So we'll be able to get after it. We'll switch it to some three-man stuff when it gets into passing down situations, but more than likely we'll be a four-man front. But everything else will be, pretty similar to what I've done in the past.
And Coach, now you've had the uniqueness of coaching high school, very successful, moving on to the college level, very high level, and now coming back to the high school level. How does that affect you as a coach in terms of the Kermit Bugs nowadays, Kingsport, Kermit Bugs back in the day at Surry County?
The difference is a little bit of, basic for me was knowledge. When I was at Surry, I understood the pass game and all that stuff, but protections wasn't as big for me back in those days. We had maybe two protections, that we used in Surry, and nobody was throwing it around as much as we were. So it was new to everybody. But now everybody's so much spread and doing everything now. The key for me now is just understanding the protection part of it. We're going to be knowing how to protect the quarterback. Making sure that he can get the throws off that he needs to get off because, guys get blitz happy here in the high school level. So we'll be able to protect the quarterback and make sure he has what he's done. But the biggest part of it is just the knowledge part of it. Dealing with young men is dealing with young men. The one thing I do find out, and I hate to say this, but recruiting on this high school level is just as bad as recruiting on the college level. Good gracious.
Welcome to high school.
I was like, good gracious. But, like I told the guys around here, those who stay will be champions, So we're just going to work hard. We're going to do what we do. And those who walk through our doors at Kings Fork, we're going to do our best to get those guys ready to play. And that's one thing I learned from Coach Paterno is development of young men, So we're going to develop the athlete, whatever walks through here, whatever his desires are. We're going to try to do our best to develop that and make sure that they have an opportunity to play football on the next level if they desire.
And Coach, I think another point that, and back me if I'm right or tell me if I'm wrong, having the opportunity to do both levels. I know in my own personal life, coaching the college level for 6-7 years, both Division I and lower level, it helps now as a high school coach to really understand what recruiting is all about because you've done it on both sides. Because we know the college coaches will come out and say, well, hey, look, we only got two of you up on the board, and you're going to have to hurry up and let us know about a scholarship offer. And in all reality, they don't have two on the board, but they hold all the cards. They hold the advantage. And you, as a high school coach, by knowing that now, you might be able to play the game a little different where a high school coach that has not been behind those kind of scenes may not know really what to do, and I think that's a big advantage.
And I think that's really helped Garrett go through his situation here because I told him not being a player last year, not having much film, camps was going to be huge for him. So he did a great job of this summer getting around to as many camps as he needed to and ended up getting a Temple offer. Once I told him, once we sit down and talk about it, I was like, hey, Temple University is a great place, a great school. They're willing to take a chance on you, even though you don't have that film. So you need to go ahead and step out and let those people know that you want to be a part of Temple football because who knows what's going to happen after this going forward if other schools come around or whatever other schools may not come around. So you've had the opportunity, you put yourself in the best situation. So let's go ahead and get this thing done and be part of Temple football. So you can settle down on this senior year and go from there. And then for the other guys is making sure these parents understand what level their child fits. That's the biggest part about it. Everybody has those Power 5 those accolades of wanting to be a Power 5 player, but not everybody is a Power 5 player. So I can understand, and speaking with the parents about where their child fits because it's about them getting a free education in the end. It's about using football and not letting football use you when it comes down to it because we're all out here trying to get a degree out of this thing and using God's talents to allow you to do that. So that's one of my biggest mantras is making sure they understand that they have to use football as accolade and don't let football use them and not come out of school without a degree.
Last one from me, Coach. We appreciate the time. We're talking with Kermit Buggs, head football coach of the Kings Fork Bulldogs here on ESPN Radio 94.1. For those that haven't seen Garrett Williams play before, you mentioned he's committed to Temple today, and I also got another kid from the 757 to Temple, and Darian Varner, defensive lineman from Morey, so they're recruiting the 757 pretty hard here. And I know this is your first year coaching, Garrett, but what have you seen from him on film and the workouts as you guys gear up for the season? I imagine they're going to play him at defensive back or safety, and what kind of leadership have you seen from him?
He's been the leader since I've gotten here. He's a workout warrior. The guy, he absolutely loves working out. And he was on my radar as a player, as a sophomore when I was at ODU. He did some good things on his sophomore tape that really allows you to stand out and be a person that can be recruited on the level that he has. Now, we also have a left tackle here named Devon Orr, who's one of the best players in the area. Without a doubt. His father's going to be Tim is going to be coaching with us. He's coached at Elizabeth City and at Florida A&M, and he's actually the dean of sports management department at Hampton University. But he's another great player that we're looking for good things out of him. He has a Coastal Carolina offer already and a Hampton University offer. So, we got a stellar left tackle. We got a stellar on defense with Garrett, and so we're hoping those guys are going to lead us to big things. And so hopefully we can take their leadership and go with it and hopefully have a successful season for the Kings Fork Bulldogs.
Well, it should be an exciting time in Suffolk. Fun, fast, and ferocious, the mantra for Coach Kermit Buggs and Kings Fork as they open up the season August the 30th at Smithfield. A lot of change in the Southeastern District, and the Bulldogs looking to go to new heights. Coach, thank you so much. Best wishes this year, and I'm sure we'll talk again soon, all right?
All right, thank you, Matt. And Ed, I hope to see you over here later.
All right, hey, warm up those mattresses now. I know a lot of people want to get a feeling. I know you have no problem testing those mattresses out.
No, sir, not at all.
All right,
have
Kermit.
a good day, you guys.
Hey, good luck
Coach.
to you.
That is Kermit Buggs, head football coach of the Kings Fork Bulldogs. They also have the mattress fundraiser going on until 5 o'clock today, the Old School Classic as well, here on High School Sports Talk, presented by VirginiaPreps.com. We come back, we've got Errol Cobbins, new head football coach of the Grafton Clippers. He'll join us right here on ESPN Radio 94.1.